Welcome to the Bridging the Generation podcast. I'm your host, Malak Arif, and today I have a very special guest, man. Hailing from upstate New York, man. I got the one and only Duece Ellis, man. What's going on, brother?
Peace, man. What's good? What's good? Bridging the Generations podcast, man. It's good to
Man,
be here.
thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on the platform. And I hope you got some time, man. Like I told you earlier, man. I definitely been checking you out, and I'm liking what I'm hearing, man. I'm liking the visuals, and I wanna touch on you as an artist, man. What I notice about you, man, is something that's very unique, man. Something that's out of the ordinary, man. So I want to know, how did Duece Ellis become Duece Ellis, man? Where did all this originate from, man? So let's go back from the beginning, man. Um, First of all, man, you know what? Before I do that, brother, man, you know what? I'm on the social media, brother, and I'm seeing you. This is maybe like when I first heard of you, man. I'm seeing you with West Side Gun. I'm seeing you with Mauler. I'm like, man, who is this guy, man? Like, I'm seeing you featured on a lot of these dope tracks, man, and it's like, man, you just came, you came out of nowhere, brother.
It takes what mad years for overnight success or whatever.
That's what
Um,
they say.
it's just making music for a while and developing and creating a voice and figuring out how to really develop this art in a way that's like unique and speak to the people.
Right.
And then I got to shout out to Big Homie Jordan. Um, that was just somebody I knew. Like I was like, I got to connect with this dude, and like good things that happen. Follow intuition. So
Gotcha.
you know what I mean. Just putting more work out. That's all.
Nah, no doubt, man. Like I said, man, you at a nice pace right now. According to basically what I'm seeing. Like I said,
Appreciate
man,
it.
it definitely stands out, man. And again, I want to go back to the beginning, man. Like
Sure.
what I see from you, man, is basically you're like you're a unicorn, man. You are what they consider an anomaly.
I like that. I like that. Um,
And my platform, man, I'm very picky with the artists that I select on my platform. I'm very I'm very picky with the music that I listen to, and just hearing the output that you have put out, man, just in the few projects that I've heard, man, is I like what you got going on, man. So let's go back to the beginning, brother.
all right,
Where
I'm gonna tell a dope story, and it's gonna
let's
tie
talk
in.
about
Shout
it.
out to my brother Jay Skis. I'm 12 years old. I'm in Buffalo for the summer. I was born in Buffalo. My
Okay,
mom's remarried and moved to Brooklyn when I was young, but I spent all my summers out there. And I broke my leg when I was like 11, and I couldn't walk for like almost 2 years. And I spent that 2 years in Buffalo. So as I'm like almost healed, a young Jay Skis just approached me because he lived on the same block that my grandma lived on. He was
okay,
like, "Yo, you from Brooklyn? You rap." And like I'd only like wrote poems or like thought about rapping, and like I freestyled on the spot for the first time. And then I just started going over his crib and rapping all the time. Like that was
right,
the spark. And hearing that first, like when you drop a bar and people go, "Ooh," I
right.
don't know, like that's like a greater high than anything else that I ever chased. So that's where it started. But I always wanted to make music. Like, I remember being like real young, and like moms were single moms at the time, and she'd be gone. And whenever she come back, I like at like 2, 3 years old, be like banging out like a song, like for when she
Right.
came back, be like, "Look, I made you a song." So like it's been a forever thing. But as far as like you know career wise and like making a living path off of it, like I took some time, man. I moved away to Hawaii and I lived on the island for a bit. Did a lot of psychedelics and I learned how to produce. And I realized that I wanted to be hands on with what I created and like
Hmm.
responsible for it. And so I spent time in that realm, and then the sound developed more. I picked up instruments, and that was scary at first because it sucks to suck at some shit. You know what I mean? Like like to
no doubt.
have a guitar and then you're around like great guitar players and you could barely like ding ding, you know. But then you keep.
Hey man, I tried that guitar, man. That guitar, man. I had to give up on that, man. I play drums and keyboards, man. But I tried guitar and I kept cutting my fingers, man. I said it's not for me, man. I can't do it.
And like that was like psychologically though, as like just a practice, like in the art of mastering anything. That was something that was dope to me. Was that like you had to build callus on your, you know what I mean? Like you had to build like that shit on your fingers that could endure like playing the string. And I remember like looking back, because I could play, you know, fairly like whatever now, but like those first few months where like I couldn't do a chord, man. I like cried and shit because like I just tried so hard and I couldn't do it. I was like, am I just a weakling? You know what I mean? Like, what?
Oh,
my favorite movie is the 36 Chambers.
You a musician.
Yeah, but yo, two things. My favorite movie is 36 Chambers and how Dude had to go through. You know what I mean? And like he wanted to go straight to the top level and be like, yo, and he thought they was gonna fight. You know what I mean? He thought he was gonna, and like they hit him with some we got mind power and blew this motherfucker away, literally, right? But you appreciate the process, you appreciate the steps, you appreciate that like somewhere along the line, like you go from like being real trash or some shit to like, yo, you keep putting in the work and like, yo, now you nice.
Right.
And then like I love that next phase. Like that's always what drives me is to where that phase where you could get inventive with the shit. Like now it's not just me trying to play shit that I heard so I can like sound decent. It's me like creating stuff and like in whatever mastery path that is, whether it's basketball or like rolling blunts or you know what I mean, like mastering money. Like it's all the same process in terms of how you just progress through the stages from like, you know, beginner to master. And some shit. So I love that process. And then the other part of it is fucking Quincy Jones, man. That Quincy Jones documentary. He says some shit like, it don't matter if you rap or you only write songs, you should still know how to play an instrument because you're a musician. I was like, man, Quincy say that. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's the go right there, man. I notice a lot of hip hop.
I can't set the bar lower than
like Quincy Jones. I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead, brother.
No, I was just saying that if that was the standard, then you know I didn't want to set the bar below the standard. I just wanted to keep like, and I want to do this shit for forever, man. So like, I don't know. There might be some point where I'm like 60 and like, maybe I still got bars. Who knows? Like, I don't know what bars is like at that point, but I know I could still like do whatever on my you know what I mean? Like, or I could just play like in the crib by myself and serenade. Like,
look, hold on. Time out. Let's bring it back. This is the Bridging the Generation podcast, man. What you're telling me, man, I'm starting to get a feel of who Duece Ellis is, and I appreciate you. You answered my question pretty eloquently, but I want to take it back. You told me you was 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken, right? So let's go back to that. Excuse me?
Huh?
No, I'm saying you was speaking about when you was 12 years old, you met a buddy of yours. Now, let's go back to that. You're 12 years old. What was the sound of hip? Because I don't know how old you are. What was the sound of music in your environment? What you know, in the environment that you was in, what was the soundtrack, the music that was popular where in the environment that you was from?
Yo, it was that wild time where like things was changing. Like it was the mixtape era. You know what I'm saying? So like I got a heavy appreciation for bars. At the same time, like the South was kind of creeping up and like that was like important.
Artists, bro. Come on, dudes. Let me get some artists, man. Let's go. Come on, we about to go in, man. I want to know.
I'm talking like theater mixtapes. You're talking like Dipset mixtapes. You're talking like I'm talking those K-Slate tapes.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Talking like Smack DVD. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like it was a lot of bars, man. It was a lot of bars at the time.
Right.
And you had to like show up like a swordsman. You know what I'm saying? Like just ready bars at the time. Or like that's where I came up from. But it was also you could begin to see like, you know, the change happening or whatever. But I came up like loving bars. You know what I'm saying? Like who's the best MCs? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.
No doubt.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So look, so check this out. So with that being said, you mentioned, listening to your music, man, I hear a lot of different influences. You mentioned Quincy Jones, who's arguably one of the greatest producers in music history, man. A lot of folks do not know how he revolutionized music, man. But when was that seed planted as far as you being the artist that you are now? Because you're mentioning K Slay, you're mentioning Dipset. When I listen to your music, man, I hear a variations of a lot of different music genres. So when did this bug, this Renaissance man that we see in your music, man, was that back, during that era? Did you have, did you pick up any influences from, outside of hip hop during that time?
Yeah. I was always the weird one, the anomaly one. You know what I'm saying? Like just plucking from different sources and shit. One, probably because like hip hop wasn't really encouraged in the household. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dude thought all the objectifying women and the cursing wasn't that cool. So I couldn't really listen to a whole lot of rap. Like in the house, I'd either like sneak up at night and like put on headphones. And like that's when I would hear like Funk Flex when he was like breaking records and like the locks would come up in freestyle or like Dipset and then will come up in freestyle or like it was like proving ground, you know what I'm saying? Like to come up at Flex and drop a freestyle and then like after Flex it was like Clue would play shit that would be on Clue tapes and then even later than that it was like K Slay. And like I'd sneak and listen to all of that, but then like what I could get away with listening to in the daytime was like other stuff. And I loved all music, you know what I'm saying? Like I could get away with listening to classical and then this way I could listen to music and I wouldn't be bothered. You know what I mean? Of like jazz, like I love jazz. And that was like heavy influence.
Okay.
Like I could just get away with listening to that and like have that. Hey, turn that rap music off. You know what I mean? Type stuff. So, and then keeping it a buck, like as a '90s kid, like music was all over television. Every commercial, every like time you walk down the aisle in the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just everywhere. So like I pick up on all those sound bites and just love it. And like in my head, it was always like, yo, can I make that? Whatever it was. Like when I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit, and that blew my mind.
Nirvana.
Can I, and not just can I make that, but can I bring it like here? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I bring it to
when that record came out, I remember when that came out, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I hated grunge rock, and that was the first album that made me appreciate grunge rock, man. It made me go back to guys like the Who, the Ramones, and you gave me appreciation for guys like that. But I didn't realize when they dropped. I don't know how old you are, man, but they got a lot of backlash, man, when that album came out, man. Like a lot of people, when you think about that album now, and I'm not gonna. I want to stay too long on that, but a lot of people they trashed that album when it came out, and it's crazy, when you look 20 plus years later, man, it's beloved, man, and so I always thought that kind of, that was always
about art in general, like especially if it's really progressive and it's you know what I mean, beyond its time. That's part of it. Anytime something's great,
that's you, man. That's you. That's how I feel you are, brother. Like when I first heard your music, man, I was like, bro, what lane are you in, man? It's like it's really hard for me to pinpoint. See, you're kind of like me, man. I feel like I'm in I'm kind of an anomaly myself, man, because I appreciate I have a hip hop platform, but I'm a music guy. I'm not just a hip hop guy. I love music, and and seeing you play the guitar, seeing you, do different melodies and different, use different arrangements on a lot of different your songs, man. Do you feel like, would you consider yourself a hip hop artist, or would you consider yourself, what do you consider yourself?
A hip hop artist. You know what I mean? It's just because like that's like because all right, as a black person, right,
Right.
in America, what culture do I have that I can identify with, that I can look around and I can see other people that are like me and understand me non-verbally at first, and we can share rituals like concerts. It's hip hop. That's the culture, right? So that's my culture. So anything that I would do musically is still hip hop, right? But then does that mean that like we can't begin to redefine elements of the black experience? Like that's why that was the other driving force for me playing guitar is that like young black boys would see this and like I'd be on stage with a pair of J's, and now instead of like John Mayer playing over Jay-Z tracks, it's somebody black. You know what I mean? Like, and that's cool. And not just that, but then like more people receive the benefits to that type of discipline. Cause like I don't know, it's just something added to the swagger when like I done took the time to did that and I could do that. You know what I mean? Like I know you feel the same way like when you shred on drums and you like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you can
no,
just add that to like
yeah.
you know what I mean? But you didn't just do that overnight, right? Like it's not
No,
like
no, no.
you put and like what really makes that special is the time. And it's you know what? It's the fact that like me growing up, guitar was a white thing, right? Quote unquote. Why? That's all like why? Why does that have to why can't it be like normal for me to do that? And normal for everyone else around me to like be like, yo, let's all get up and shred type shit. So like let's just break that barrier, that mindset. And that's probably the same way with the musicality. It's like, why is it white or whatever? Like, you know, too high crest for like it's not like niggas ain't smart enough to figure this shit out
Right.
to another language. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it. Yo, one of the illest things I ever did. Somebody told me if you want to get rich, take somebody who's rich at your craft out to like lunch or some shit. And I sat with Aloe Black, and he gave me something that really, really like cracked my skull open, and I put it to everything to this day. He was like, "Bro, if you can write raps and you can put together rap songs, your mind could like do and create anything, like not just rap." And so that always just kept me now expanding. It's like, well, what
Right.
else can I do? And I can still rap. And for this new album, like I really wanted to like bring back like focus on the bars, but also like just, I'm working on this sublime balance of like the musicality and bars and like telling the story. You know what I mean? Like, and
Right.
it's a balance, and you just keep working at it. And I think you know people see the progress, the growth, the definition, staying consistent.
Okay. So do you when you know being that you're in a genre, you know, where I'm gonna be honest, as much as I love hip hop and Lord knows I love it, there at times, man, I feel like not particularly the genre, but the fans of the genre, they don't appreciate other genres outside of hip hop. Now, what's your take on that? Now, I know you don't feel like that, but do you feel like, you know, like man, I'm kind of like I'm kind of out here
Listen,
on the
let me
island,
ask you
man.
this.
It's not a lot of artists that are doing what I'm doing, you know.
Let me put it to you like this. Go ask and go hang out with any black person, and they all gonna hit you with like, yo, but I listen to this, and like, y'all don't even know about it. You know what I mean? Like, we all have some shit that's not rap that we love listening to, and we all think it's like some taboo thing that like, nah, motherfucker, everybody likes some alternative, different shit, or just something that's like not hip hop. That's probably something else that we should like crack open too, so that we can enjoy some of this other music that's in people's iPods and playlists that we ain't heard. You know what I mean? Like I know you got some other dope stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just like straight rap. It can't be music that you gotta play for others. It's just vibes. So I feel like everybody listen, and that's why genres are blending, is because everybody listens to like something else and indulges in something else. So
I don't know.
that's just
I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna be honest, man. Let's put it like this. I feel like this is, you know, and this may be me being the old man in the room, man. I feel like a lot of hip hop fans they're knowledgeable about other music, of course, but there's a difference between being knowledgeable about something and being able to appreciate something. You may know who John Mayer is, or Stevie Wonder, or Eric Clapton, and but I don't know how many hip hop artists, man, hip hop fans that truly appreciate those guys. I deal with a lot of them, man. I'm just my personal my take, you know. I just, you know, I don't know, man. I know you're not the only one that thinks like that, but I'm gonna be honest, man. It just seems like the fans of the genre, man, you know, I don't know. They're a little tough on genres outside of hip hop, man. Like the purists, the hip hop purists, man. Like you New York guys, man. You guys is like y'all
That's,
like man.
that's the beautiful part
Hey
of
man,
it too, though.
New York dudes, y'all barely want to hear nothing outside of New York, man.
Yo, like people loving what they love is a beauty. Like, and because especially if you come from like this climate and this atmosphere, until you don't roll with somebody through the South, you probably can't even appreciate those. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't appreciate that until like truly until like you understood where that music was for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same flips the other way. Um, and that's just what everybody people like what they like and what they go comfortable with. But
Right.
you know, diving in and then being able to appreciate and dig other vibes, like everybody got their things. Everybody got their things.
Nah. I mean, it is what it is, man. I think as you a lot of times with me, man, I think it's just a part of my what do you call it, midlife crisis, man? Because I'm like 40, so a lot of times, man, I remember how things used to be, and sometimes, man, I look at how it is, man, and I would just love if we had more artists like you, that's, you know, guys that are pushing the boundaries, but guys who's also preserving the culture. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what? That there's more and more of that happening. And then we just continue to like listen. I appreciate everyone's form of artistry, like, and then there's some stuff that I don't get at first, and then like I pay a little more attention to it, or I see the artist be consistent, and it's like, oh, sweat, I get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the younger generation. So it's not like I feel like, you know, because listen, my parents hated my music. I mean, like my generation's music, like the stuff that I loved as a kid, like they thought that was trash. And like to me, that's the greatest stuff ever. That's like the golden era of music. And they think it's trash. They think the music that they listen to, they were coming up and getting their swag is the greatest music ever. So, you know, that's part of it too. It's like the music that you first started, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking to and like going out to and like developing as a person. I just stick different because like, you know what I mean? Like that's defining times. Like we always feel like that shit is the best and the better. But in the era that we in, like the kids who's like watching people make music on their laptops, that's a different type of wizardry. You know what I mean? And like I just sit back and appreciate that too, because then I look and I be like, yo, I don't even like conceptualize creating like that. I respect it. It's different. But I like people to, but the fact now is I just show that like, yo, you can do that and then you can plug an instrument in and have that over it. Or just like having more knowledge of how to work your tools. You know what I'm saying? It just allows you to make more beautiful music with more enriching music to enhance the experience. But however that comes about, like, yeah, I mean, these kids is fucking wizards with the computers and with a laptop. But like some of them, it's just a tablet and they're figuring out how to make like.
They was born into the matrix, man. They was born into the matrix, man. They was born into technology, man. So you got to give it to them, man. I got two little ones. I got 2 kids myself, 3 kids myself, man, and they know these tablets and little gadgets and all this stuff, man. They've been dealing with this stuff since they was 3 years old. When I was 3 years old, I was banging on a damn Fisher Price drum set, man. Yeah, man. So it's, you know, things. I've embraced technology, and I've also embraced the times, man. And I appreciate artists like yourself. And at the end of the day, great music is great music, man. It don't matter if the artist is young, old, whatever, man. You know, so I hope
we always all try to figure it out.
Yeah. No, I hope what I'm saying. I hope I'm not implying. I don't want the audience, man. I never want to imply that I don't appreciate, because I really do. I love great. I'm gonna tell you, I'm biased to great music. I'm biased to great music, man. I don't care if you're 13, 14 years old, man. If you make dope music, I'm rocking with you. Like, I can run off how many. There was a time where, man, I could count on one hand how many artists that was born in the 90s that I listened to, but now I can count on like hands, feet, my dog's hands, but like, so as time has moved forward, man, a lot of younger artists have came into the genre, man, and have contributed, man, and I love it, man. I love it. So look, describe your sound. We talking about music, man. We talking about different genres, man. How would you describe your sound? What you do?
Right now, it's me with my MPC and my bass and my guitar, and I'm just sitting there getting funky until the vibe is right, and then I find that vibe, and then I get the bars, and that's Duece Ellis right there. Sound like somewhere between like funk, gospel, soul. You know what? It's harder for me to describe. So I've heard other people say like it reminds me like maybe some Tribe shit, maybe some Dilla shit, but like different and like you know what I mean, like
you changed from different from like
drums. And like that's probably where if like I like the vibe of like real sophisticated harmonics, dope melodies, and then just some knocking ass drums. That's really what the it is. It's just some dope harmonics, some fly sounds, some melodies and stuff, like be in your ear for a while, and then just some drums that's like
no doubt.
You know what
I mean? I was listening to a couple of your projects, man, because before I interview an artist, man, I have to listen to their entire catalog, man. And I'm listening to Duece Ellis, man. I'm going through Goodbye Blue, and I'm just I'm going all the way up to the most recent project, and I noticed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, man, but I don't believe my ears is wrong, but it seemed like you have went through different phases, different your music has changed from album to album.
Yeah. I like doing it too. You know what I mean? Like just always new challenge, always new growth. And each project kind of takes on the life of the song. Like I like making projects, and each project has a vibe and like is a moment and a memento and a feeling. And then because those there's such like intense vibes, and they're not just in the moment, like they hit different when you play them like a few years. You know what I mean? From like the date that they came out. Like this was meant to be like played, you know what I mean, for as long as possible in perpetuity and shit. So I always just try and like get out of like, you know what I mean, the vacuum and create just something completely in like its own realm, and then just have it be. But something along Duece Ellis, I just seen that people really like a lot of that fusion, the harmony and the melodies with like those hard drums and shit. And so that really like hit different. And so
basically what you tell me,
I really just wanted to bring in like all of my favorite rappers in the space at the time. That's really what that album was like. I wanted to make like a certain type of beat, and then just have like my favorite rappers rap over like those beats.
Right.
And like just make it a vibe all or something. And then like really it started, I made the comic book first. And we named it.
Hold on. Time out. You moving a little too fast. Hold up. I'm the host, man. Hold on. Yo, let's pull it back. Come on. Hold on. We can get to that. That's my album, man. I want to spend a little time on that project right there. I like that project, man. Let's bring it back. So you like I said, man, and I'm listening to what you're saying, and what you're saying is it makes a lot of sense as far as, you know, a lot of these albums, man. You said that they take a life on its own. Now, was this a was this an effort that you know, that you purposely, like a conscious effort as far as, you know, how you're going to release music? Like, was this a conscious work? Was it ever a conscious effort as far as this is the type of artist that I'm going to be, and this is the lane that I'm going to be in? Or has it been, you know, it's just organic, and you go wherever the music takes you?
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm not that like tactical or nothing where I'm like, yo, this is like my lane. Nah, I just every time I make, you know, I like it's also like I set different parameters and shit. So to be like, yo, I'm gonna work with like these type of instruments, these type of sounds, feeling this vibe, and give myself this amount of time and just work and create, and then the music kind of dictate from there. You know what I mean? Like the spirits or whatever just kind of guide the process, and then
No doubt, no doubt.
you create that, and then you go through that experience and the joy of like bringing it to the world and putting it together, like how you gonna roll it out. Yeah. Back in the days, you used to go and like, I don't know, go on tour and like touch the people and shit.
Yeah.
But
man, if you was back in the 70s, man, you'd be a rock. You would have been a rock star, man. Or 60s or something, man. I can see you enjoying. You would have enjoyed being a rock star, man.
Would have. I do now.
I said, yeah, you pretty much. But you say you're a hip hop guy, man. So you know, like, you know, a lot. But then again, a lot of the hip hop guys saying they rock stars too.
Hip hop is the rock and roll.
I don't even know anymore, man. I don't even know anymore.
Like being a hip hop star or whatever is being a rock star. Like what's the difference? But I would have totally probably like really dug all of those cool like 60s cats and shit. You know what I mean? 70s cats. Like I definitely love that spirit, the spirit of that era. And I say this new album, you're the first person I'm gonna announce this to. Why not? Let's drop it on the beat.
Okay, we got a bridging the generation.
Dropping the album called Athlete. And it is heavily like inspired by that time. And so yeah, that's right there for you, bro. Acid coming in 2021. Yeah, let's make it feel like that time again, but also push it forward.
No doubt. I like that, man. I like
I'm
that.
An old
you know what I'm
saying?
I like how you, like I said, man, and I'm gonna be honest, man. I said what I said. Anybody got a problem with it, man? Like I do feel that a lot of hip hop purists, man, do not appreciate other genres of music. I'm sorry, that's the way.
That's why they're purists. That like the purist. I get that. You know what I mean? Because somebody's got to like be a stalwart for like all things that are standard. But then that's also how you know that boundaries are being pushed, right? Like when Kanye did Flashing Lights, and you know, the purists were like, I don't know if that's hip hop. That was dope. But then like the thing that, listen, the real power of hip hop, and if you and like on a deep level, not too, like this is how we claim that power over the world. Because hip hop is all encompassing. Like we'll take any genre and make it hip hop. Like if we want to do some rock and roll shit and make it hip hop, now rock and roll is hip hop. But rock and roll can't be hip hop. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's so fire. Like we can go do a country hip hop record, and it'll be the biggest record of all times in the history of records. And country, and again, the country record purists, they have their moment where they're like, nah, that's not country. And we're like, it's hip hop and it's country because we say it's country. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? So I respect the passion of the purists. That's what makes any genre. But again, that's how you push it too. Because like when we push the purists to get fucking the Lil Nas X joint over, that was big. That was like yo, we now country music has grown. Now maybe it's a couple more black folks that could rock with a couple more white folks and a couple more different places that maybe we wouldn't have bonded in. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the power of music that makes it more powerful than like anything else, bro.
Well, let me say this, dude. It's not so much as the artists in the genre. It's more so the fans. It's the fans of the genre. When I mean the pure, like that's what I'm really. Oh, okay, yeah, because it just seems like the fans of the genre. Now you mentioned 808 and 808 heartbreaks, flashlights. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, let's even 808 and heartbreaks. I remember a lot of hip hop. Say it again.
I said, "Order man's whole career."
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, that was hip hop. Like I feel like hip hop purists are more accepting of that than they would Billy Joel or Eric Clapton or Jimi Hendrix. That's what I'm talking about. Like when something new comes on the scene, there's always going to be a little pushback. You're feeling like it's going away from what it originally is. That's kind of like a different conversation. I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like put it like this. I'm gonna make it very simple. I don't want anybody to get confused. Let's put it like this.
Hold on.
I know hold on.
Joel and fuck Eric Clapton. Only in the sense that, especially from a hip hop sense,
say that again.
Them motherfuckers bit off black people anyways.
Yeah. No. I'm just throwing their names out there. Like I ain't on their dick or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the reasons that purists don't get into certain artists. I fuck with that. Like the ones that, like, even the fucking Rolling Stones, who are kind of cool, them niggas took a lot of shit from like
all of them did, man.
And didn't give the proper credit. It made mad money off of it.
Yeah,
and they got the nerve to be mad when black people do like sampling and shit.
Right.
But they took whole songs, whole riffs, whole melodies, whole lyrics and stuff. You know what I mean?
No, but listen. This is what I'm saying. Like I agree with what you're saying. What I'm saying is you can ask a hip hop fan, the average hip hop fan, about artists within black culture, like about Stevie Wonder. Like, could you name me 3 Stevie Wonder albums? Could you name me and Michael Jackson album outside of Thriller? Do you know who Whitney Houston? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not just about knowing white artists who do other genres of music. What I'm saying is I don't feel like we as a people, we preserve our culture as far as black music. It's a way that you can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. You can push the boundaries of music like what you're doing, but we can also preserve and appreciate the rich culture and history within our music. You appreciate that. You do.
That part is important. And I feel like any new artist definitely has to like have a level of respect for the artists that laid the groundwork. Like that's just part of the musical tradition. You know what I'm saying? Like that should be basic. But yeah, no, honoring those greats. And like I don't know, maybe that's something that like we should continue to push is to have some means of like preserving our culture and telling our stories accurately, as opposed to waiting for like outside forces to want to tell the stories when they can monetize.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm with you wholeheartedly on that part, brother. That like we gotta continue to like. And again, like the greatest form of storytelling that we ever had was the griots and like passing it down word of mouth. Like, and that's the other part of how we learn those. Like, I learned in the household, like from my grandparents when they be like, "Yo, you know what this is? You know who this is? You know what I mean? Listen to this." Or like, shout out to my big cousins who like, you know what I mean? Like, we make sure like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, so and like that's just part of the culture too that we got to ingrain in the culture, like that in general, not just the music either, but just that like the older generation continue to pass knowledge down to the younger generation and make sure that we always learn to frame it in a way that like, because we know youngsters the youth is already just programmed to rebel against those older. That's just part of like the sequence of
you think so?
Right? But when you sprinkle gems the right way, man, they pick them up and they do amazing things. And then we also just gotta have faith in them too, that they're gonna do it their way. But if we give them gems and guidance, like they'll have that in their arsenal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I don't have no problem with that, man. You
but
let
that's
the
why
young
we have
people
stuff like this. Like now I like, as I'm thinking it with you, I understand more too of why this is Bridging the Generations podcast, because I see like a certain dedication that you have to continuing this. You know what I'm saying? Like we got a rich history, even just musically. That's why I say, like, when you ask me what type of artist I say I am, I say hip hop artist, only because, like, what did hip hop start out as other than sampling like funk and jazz, soul? And what was funk and jazz and soul but like the chord? You know what I'm saying? And what was that but like old Negro spirituals and those melodies and those rhythms and those harmonies that got carried over? And what was that? That goes back to our origins. So that's why everything I do is hip hop music. But you're right in terms of like preserving that lineage, and I love it. Bridget, this is a drink chance, but I just want to do it. Hey, like clap it up and shit. Like,
I appreciate that, man. I really do, man. And I'm humble, man. I'm glad that, you know, artists like yourself, man. You know, I do this really for artists like yourself and for fans who appreciate music, man, who appreciate first and foremost Black culture and Black music, and then we can accept everybody else, man. But we gotta preserve what we have created, man, because I feel like what a lot of times, man, we have it's outside entities, man. They come in and, like you mentioned earlier, man, and it's good that you notice that they come in and take from our music, man, and they don't give back. They don't give the credit. And we, as a culture, and I don't mean just Black people, I mean as pop culture, we hold these guys to a higher pedestal. We hold Elvis higher than we hold Chuck Berry, and it shouldn't be that way, you know.
Yeah, and I think so. With things like that, the tides are slowly changing. You know what I mean? Like, because and that's something that I posted today too. Was like the power of just living in your truth and consistency. Like, there's like posterity, and over time, like there's nothing that defeats that. And so, like, for all the time that like Chuck Berry was underrated, the conversation begins to grow and grow and grow. That, like, you know what I mean? And that's the power of like being greatness in your time, when you have the time to be great, and then just standing in your truths, because that shit lasts forever.
No, that's
forever.
what's up.
And no one can take that from you.
Yeah.
And like it lasts forever, so that like your legacy benefit from it too. You know what I mean? And like that's how we break curses. That's how we set new precedent. And whatever it is that we do, like, you know what I mean? And then like we learn from the elders, and we respect what they did, and then we try not. You know what I mean? We go to the fucking deal table, whole different approach. We go to the deal table knowing that like we're not accepting no bad terms, and we understand that like because we're the ones that make the culture, y'all need us, and because we have like the freedom that we have now, we can create shit ourselves. So we don't need y'all as badly. Y'all need us,
right?
But if you want to connect so that we can create something greater than the sum total of our parts, and we could do that. But I'm not bending over for you to fuck me. That's not how this shit works. And we not like, and especially on what Jay say, for what they did to the Cold Crush.
What they did to the Cold Crush, yeah.
Like we got to charge them extra and all that shit, and just make sure, and so we continue to grow.
Nah, man, I agree, man. It's like I said, man. It's good. It's refreshing, man, to hear a young brother like yourself, man, who talks like that, man. Because not really, again, my platform is bridging the generation, bridging the gap, man. It's not really. I'm not biased to the younger generation. I'm not biased to the older generation. I'm biased to great music. So what I just want us to just appreciate what we do as Black people in our culture. And at the end of the day, to make a long story short, Duece Ellis is creating a legacy as we speak right now. And he wants people to remember him 20 years from now. He wants his music, you want your music to be timeless. You want to create a legacy so when you're gone, people want to know who you are. Just like what you're doing right now, these guys, we should preserve the greatness in the artists that came before us because you're going to want someone to preserve what you're doing. The world did not start in 1981. The world did not start in 1991. The world didn't start in 2003. So, let's just preserve greatness, man. That's it.
Generations. I love it, man. I love it, man.
I appreciate that. So look, let's move on, man. I don't want to, I don't want to preach all night, man. But look, I want to move on, man, and talk about this project, man. That I'm really, I'm really loving, man. I admit I'm late to the party, but I really, really, really like this project, man. And the more I listen to it, the more I like it, man. The more I really appreciate what you got going on, man. And it's this midnight. Correct me how I pronounce this word. Ouroboros. How do I pronounce that?
Yeah, yeah. I actually have is it this one? Yeah, I have a tattoo. It's the symbol of like the infinity snake, the snake that's eating its tail, and that symbol was heavy for me as we had entered in the COVID times, just as the world was changing. Because as much as it was destruction, it was also like rebirth and new time. And so I'm sitting with this word Orbis, and it's like an obsession. And I'm talking to the shout out Kevin Delgado, fucking amazing artist who did the artwork for the comic.
I was just about to ask about that, man. That I love the album cover, man. I love the artwork.
Well, the album cover specifically is Jordan Commander, but the artwork for the comic book is the homie Kevin Delgado. And he and I were just cooking.
Everybody get into that. Say that. You move a little too fast.
Jordan did the artwork for the album cover itself. And then the album was
Jordan did. He did that?
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a goddamn beast. And a great human being on top of that.
Wow.
So yeah, he did the album cover.
I kind of snapped on Jordan early, man. Tell him I apologize, man. No, I'm just joking, man. When you texting people, man, and you saying something polite, but the way it comes out in a text or a DM, man, because you can't see the person talking, so you understand what I'm saying? Like it might come off a certain type of way, and being that I've never like seen him in person or anything like that, and vice versa, something can come up. But it's cool. It's cool. So whenever you get a chance to talk to him, man, just let him know we good, man. You know what I'm talking about.
All of that's just like proxy to the beast that we're a part of, right? Like that's just part of the game. Is like, especially in this fast-paced communication, like miscommunication is like quick like that. Y'all both amazing human beings, so I'm sure that's nothing. But he did the album cover, the red joint with all the characters on the front. But I was cooking because I did the comic book first, and I was cooking with the homie Kevin Delgado of Solstice Art. Shout out to him. And he and like I told him Orbis, and he and I were just going back and forth. I wanted it to just be like a 2-word comic book name, and Midnight Orbis just like clicked, like it just had the flow and the pace to it. And I was like, I was like cooking up music at the same time, and like I had to feel, because like my dream was always to have this graphic novel be a series on Netflix. That's like what I'm really working towards. And then I do the score, and I do the score with like all like the dope producers in like the underground space, and like that just be like the rawest like animated series type of score, like animated score that I've ever heard. And like the soundtrack would just be like dope underground rappers for every episode, and it'd be like dope art and for Black people doing cool sci-fi shit, because you don't ever see that. So like that's really where the dream came from. And I was kind of making music that I would like just like playing stuff that I wanted to like hear for that, and thinking of like who I want to rap. You know what I mean? And so that became the basis for the album, I guess. And then, I just reached out to the homies and they all came through with Slave. And, it just had a pace and a feel to it that, one, I knew like it would hit the palate and it'd be different. That's one of the dope things about not being worried about taking like risks or, you know what I mean? Like sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Some people.
You've
like
always been
I
like
love
that.
that. That's like my
Hold on.
favorite
Have you
music
always
is
been
always
like that? Deuce.
No, I was just gonna say like my
Have you
favorite
always
music
been?
is always the stuff that like I think I hate, and then like however long later I'm like, yo, this is shit. How did I not? You know what I mean? Like I love that. So like that's how Jay-Z was. I hated Jay at first. I was like, I can't. I don't even get it. And then one day it just clicked. And now I think Hov is the greatest. Like, and it took me years for that to like actually like.
Where? Okay, the question I pose to you: where did that mindset come from, as far as being original, being, marching to the beat of your own drum? Where did that come from?
DNA, I guess.
Okay.
Just.
Hey man, it's your answer, man. You know it better than I. I always have to when I see. I'm the type of person, man. Like originality, man. If you know anything about me, man, originality. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's almost like number one. Like, for example,
I have to
listen, but
I'm not good
if somebody does their best,
shoot 'em up music.
Say it again.
I said I'm not good at making like shoot 'em up music, and I don't really sell like cocaine or nothing, and so I can't like rap about that shit. So
yes, you could.
Huh?
Yes, you could. Everybody else doing it.
Nah, man,
exactly, because it's not authentic, it's not organic. That's what I'm saying. You could if you want to, but it wouldn't be authentic. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm telling you.
Though. I'm not even good at it though. Like my risk game is, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not really.
Well, you can rap about it if you wanted to.
I guess if I put my mind to it.
How many niggas you done killed? How many chicks that you done nailed? And how much coke you got in the kitchen? And you can rap like that's what everybody like. A lot of these guys, they don't live the stuff that they talk about. A lot of them.
Yeah, but like, I can't do that. Like it never worked for me. The only thing that, cause like, I also do this to bring a certain sense of like, whatever that shit is that just feels amazing, like personal satisfaction. So like, I don't
that's the right word.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and then
that's the right word,
as a rapper,
man.
right?
You do you, man.
Somebody in culture, right? You see how you just spit a 16-bar verse right there without even like that's everybody's 16-bar verse right there. It's like how much coke they sold, how much money they got, how many different people's bitches they fuck. Like that's the whole verse. That's 16 right there. You just spit the whole 16 of like a handful of 2020, right? And
right.
But people are really skilled at it, and I admire their skill set at flipping bricks and catching bodies or sending other shooters to catch the body. Like there's a special art to that shit, and delivering that shit.
Facts.
But then like for me, like the personal challenge is, all right, we can't rap about like as hip hop in general, we can't rap about that for forever, right? So then what else can we bring to the table culturally? Like with the skill of fucking rapping, this fly skill that like we've developed as a culture, and we've passed, you know what I mean? Because every time somebody now raps and songs pass around, that all adds to the spice. There's different flow patterns, different twangs, different ways of making words that don't rhyme. Yeah, I mean, like different slangs and all of that. Like the game is always full of stuff. So it's like, what else can I rap about? How fly can I rap about? And like, especially if everybody does that and the formula for that is there, and pretty much like there's white dudes on like Instagram who can do their like make a 16-bar trope because it's become that much of a trope, then like, all right, what can I do? That, you know what I mean? That's neat. That's original. And I like that challenge. And if not everybody in the culture takes to that right away, like, that's cool. So, like, I know that like continue to make things that stand the test of time. That's more powerful. Like,
No,
and
that's
then
what's up.
you know,
I
the
like that.
stuff I'm creating, I own 100% of. Like, I'm not, like I'm not getting the same samples off the same website that all the producers are getting their sample. You know what I mean? Website packs
Whoa,
from.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Time out, time out, time out. Yo, you spilling the beans. You spilling the beans, Deuce. Yo, these producers out here. Hold up, yo. Hold up. You tell me this website
I'm
is
just
way.
listen. If you listen to enough of this stuff, and this is the only reason, I'm not even spilling the beans. They spill the beans on themselves. Because if you listen to enough of this stuff, you start
Because
being
you
like,
produce
oh
too.
damn, y'all
You
all use
produce
the same
too.
shit.
I'm looking at your catalog. You produce too. Not saying that you do that, but so what I'm saying is you would know. Like I hold your words to a very high standard.
So all I'm saying is, there's been a time or so where I've heard like a handful of the same things across the, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, yeah, I should do more. You know what I mean? Like, so, but again, this is just my personal challenge. This has nothing to do with nobody else other than like my own sick head shit that I like to do. And I like to be like, if that's the playing field, then like, what can I do with my game? Like any athlete, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, that's how they all training over there, and they all training
Man,
like that in the weight room. What can I do that's gonna make me like stronger, better,
yeah.
faster? And then when we all hit the court, I got moves that they like, oh shit, I didn't even know you could move like. Well, then now it's not just for me, because now like when you fuck the game up like that, now everybody start training different. You know what I mean? I can hear it. I've already heard like people add more instrumentation to the music. You know what I'm saying? People digging a little deeper in the samples and trying to find shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and that's beautiful because that continues to push. And like that's all we here to do is like elevate it, because I love this hip hop shit, bro.
No, that's only really to be honest. I'm gonna be honest, man. And I never really told. A lot of times when we have these conversations about hip hop, man, my main gripe, man, to be honest, is just originality, lack of originality from certain artists. That's it. At the end of the day, we all rapping about the same shit, but could you do it differently? That's it.
Yeah, I love that part.
Can you like you from Buffalo, so you definitely familiar with West Side Gun. I've seen you on Instagram with him, but you don't sound like West Side Gun. You don't sound like Conway. You don't sound like those guys in Rochester, 38 and all them. Like, and they don't sound like each other. And what I'm saying is there is a way that you can be yourself, make music that's going to resonate throughout the culture and be different. It's not rocket science, You're an artist, man. You would know better than I would, man. Come on.
But that's always a part of it. That's just a part of like the beast. It's like anytime that something cuts through and strikes and it's hot and it changes the game and it changes the culture, like motherfuckers is just gonna try it anyway. Like they're gonna feel like whatever, especially if you do what you do like real well and real powerful. Like sometimes people feel like whatever they doing don't work no more and they gotta do something more akin to what you do. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll dig deeper into their originality if they're smart, you know what I'm saying, and just come and continue to elevate the game to like, yo, this is what I got that don't nobody else got. This is what I'm bringing that's like different and powerful.
Oh,
And so
no,
like,
okay, yeah.
like I said, I always just look at it like sports, and I love the artists who like take that same approach. And it's like, yo, I stay in the gym, I stay ready, and like especially now seeing the playing field and the gaining the traction, like I'm just staying focused and staying consistent because you're gonna elevate and continue to win and play championship type years each time. Um, and just take that mentality, which also just means like when I say athlete mentality, rest in peace to the late great Kobe. I used to play Kobe Bryant interviews like every day, and like whatever speeches and like motivational speeches he was doing, I played all of that. But one of the things he said that like stuck deep. When he first started playing ball, he wasn't nice, and he played in the summer league, and he like bricked out and threw some air balls, and he just flat, and he hated it, and he didn't really get to play, and he spent that summer like I think it was Pops told him like, yo, you just gotta practice more. And then he looked at the game and he was like, all right, the other guys they practice 2-3 times a week. I'm gonna practice 7 days a week. every day. And if I do that, not only am I going to catch up, I'm going to start to surpass him. And within 2-3 years, he was the greatest player in Philly and was on his way to the NBA. And he kept that same type mentality up. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, especially like if you're not whatever, like I don't know how talented people are born. I don't know if that's like real. I just know like the difference between people who work and continue to work and don't stop and don't give up or some shit, don't make excuses, and the results that gets them. And sometimes it comes to, you know what I mean, going through like some hardship, going through some knocks. That's just part of it. But like if you built for this, then like you do this. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's for whatever your sport is, whatever your vocation is. But going through law school and trying to pass the bar or trying to become a doctor, like, you know what I mean, moving the trash, like it's a way to move up through the ranks of whatever you at. Like, yo, and I know we starting to run over, but I'm gonna give one last like dope ass story that's like the realest shit. There's a story of two slaves, right? And like in like Egypt or some shit.
What you smoking on, dudes?
Huh?
What you smoking on?
Some shit.
Yo, I'll tell you from Buffalo, man. BK, whatever, man. Y'all don't smoke that bullshit, do y'all?
Not even a little bit, bro. But so these two slaves, right? And they in captivity. And they got two different mentalities though. One of them, like they slaves because they get caught for like being in debt or some shit, and like Egypt back in the day. But one of them's mentality is, yo, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up, work hard, and like keep it moving. And the other one keep complaining. And the one that keep complaining, he get worse and worse punishment, and he got to do harder and harder work. And the one that just keep working hard, he end up getting like hired out and getting like a job, and then he started being able to make money, and then he started being able to buy his freedom. And then after he buy his freedom, he keep that same mentality, and he becomes a wealthy man. And the motherfucker who complained all the time dies in slavery, and they started in the same spot. You get what I'm saying?
Interesting. Hey man, you for young brother, man, you got some wisdom with you, brother. I definitely appreciate and respect that, man. You know, and that's why I say, man, you know,
bro, I appreciate a great conversation, man.
I hope that's what we having.
No, for sure.
No doubt, man. Hey, talk about this Steve Kerr joint, man. You did with Camouflage Monk, man. Talk about that, man. I've been playing. I played that song about 5 times in a row, man. I love that shit, man. Tell me a little bit of insight on that particular song right there, man.
You took me to a space there, because I really didn't have much to do with that track, but that's kind of like, I don't know, that was a spark where like Camo Ellis happened. And how I became a huge fan of Hus Kingpin. Shout out to Hus Kingpin.
Yo, Hus is a legend.
Who's probably like my favorite rapper rapping right now. It's like Hus.
No argument there.
I think them dudes is just, they're pushing on another level right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first time hearing Hus. And Monk just asked me to play some guitar on the record. And it was dope for me because that was something I wanted to manifest anyways, which just like, in addition to rapping and producing, I just wanted to pop up doing guitar solos all over rap records and just have that as like, again, like, I don't know, I think wild down the line, I think like when they like look back and it's like, yo, there's like, I don't know, 100 records that like I just happen to play like solos on that are like sick or like, you know what I mean? Like do other cool shit and leave touches on in addition to, you know, my personal catalog and then other stuff that I produce. But that moment was dope. And I got put on the Hus, and it was the first time like Monk and I worked together. And then probably in that same week we did Camo Ellis, to be honest. And it wasn't like intended to be a project or nothing. We was just making music in my kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like I had the studio in the kitchen for whatever reason. I felt like that might be a cool spot. I felt like I could cook and make beats at the same time. Like that was cool. So I had the studio in the kitchen, but we was just in there cooking. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was cooking food and making beats.
I like the vibe, man, on that one right there, man. Hus goes in, Camouflage Mark, man, he's one of the most underrated producers in independent hip hop right now, man. Explain, talk about your relationship with him, man, because it seemed like when you guys come together, man, you guys make some really good music, man. I know he did like 3 or 4 joints on this last project. So talk about Mark a little bit.
Mark's the greatest motherfucking producer of this era, if you ask me, like hands down.
What makes him special?
Just the sauce, man. You know what I mean? Just some people just got a certain, you know, and that's one of those motherfuckers. Exactly. Like you read my mind, man. And so, you know, he just captures lightning in a bottle every time. And then, you know, in terms of collaborating with people, you try collaborating with enough people. I've had every different experience from like people that it's impossible to work with and nothing gets done, people where it's like seamless experience to everywhere in between. And you know, just I don't know, the vibes that particular time was just like real dope vibes. It was just easy working. Like it was some of the most like whatever. The smoking blunts, I'm playing shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, play something like this. I play something like that. Like, I send, you know what I mean? Like, just sending like pieces of tracks back and forth until like the whole thing is completed. But
how long did it take for you guys to put how long did it take for you to put the Midnight Ouroboros project together?
A month or so. But cause like I did a week in Buffalo. It was a wild time, man. A lot of shit was happening. I went to Buffalo to get just out of New York for a bit, one, and then I had an uncle who was dying of cancer, and he had COVID related shit going on.
Shit. I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, and so like I stayed for a week in a hotel, was making music and spending time with him, and then I ended up having to come back, you know, for his services maybe like 2-3 weeks later, and you know that whole thing kind of added time to the process. But I put in another week of like just recording. Like we made the music that first week and just had all the homies come through. So like CG, who's another amazing genius, came through, and Monk came through. Like we was all in the hotel together, just cooking. I just wanted to have like vibes, especially after like, you know, I had been in New York like just isolated. Stir crazy, so I wanted to just like not make an album in the house. I felt like that shit would be stale, and so I just rented a hotel, had people come through. Kane Wave came through, shout out Kane. You know, like my cousins came through. Like it was just mad different vibes, and like we had artists come by, like rap to some of the beats. You know what I mean? Just going on, just creating. Just wanted to create, have one of those like camps. You know what I mean? Like one of those like music camps for a minute, and yeah, you know, big homie came through, and again, like we just trading shit back and forth, hearing shit. I remember this one time, bro. It was like God came through, right? Cause like I swear he pulled up a sample and I played a chord progression like at the same time, and it was in the same key and like the same like progression and shit. And I was like, there's no way that could happen.
Deuce, time out.
You know what I mean? Like,
you mentioned chords arrangement. You mentioned chords arrangement. Like, Deuce, you know how to read music?
Yeah, and write it a little bit.
Oh no, that's all I want to know. That's all I was asking. That's dope. I mean, it's already
nice.
Like, Deuce, you do know, like, man, what you do is different, brother. Like, I don't know any rappers that play guitar, brother. Name me another rapper that plays guitar. Go.
I've seen some on the internet, but they're not nice like.
Come on, Deuce.
They don't really.
Dudes, come on, dude. We talk about artists with catalogs. We're not talking about an artist, some nigga that's in his basement that's trying to put a demo together. We talk about a rapper who has a catalog. Stop playing with me. Come on.
Oh.
Name a rapper, bro. Go. Let's go. Come on.
Listen, I won't front like I wasn't inspired by Lil Wayne. I'm not gonna like But I
I
was
don't
also
play it.
inspired. Like I seen his little run at it, and I was like, nah, I actually really want to be nice. Because for a second, I thought Wayne was
All right,
actually
give you a
like
little
on the
one. All right,
transition
give
of
you.
being as nice at guitar as he was at rapping. But skateboard ended up being like, his thing. Like, I don't know, guitar is like just something like I really dig. And so I was like, I want to get good. Why not? I'm gonna be here hopefully for a little, or like while I'm here, like I'm just gonna keep doing that. If I do this
Yeah.
every year, I could at the worst, right? But
It take dedication, man. It take a lot of dedication to play guitar, man. I tried, man, for 3 months, man. I ended up going over to bass guitar and drums and keyboards, man. Bass guitar, the notes is a little bit more far out. They're not as close together as same thing with the strings as
I
guitar.
started playing
You
bass,
don't, huh?
and I love bass.
Yeah. Who's your favorite guitarist?
Hmm?
Who's your favorite guitarist?
My favorite guitarist,
Any era, don't even matter. This era,
Jimmy off rip, like
Jimmy Page.
Jimi Hendrix, the first
Oh,
thing I think of when I think of guitar, like, and why I even felt like comfortable or thought it was like cool. You know what I mean? Like, and he like when I learned Jimmy's guitar lineage and how he played on the Chipman circuit and played like
oh yeah,
background for the Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he really
Ray Charles, he played with all those guys.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he really like.
I would, I wouldn't say know that. Let me take that back. I wouldn't say that, but a lot of people didn't know that. Let me just say that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's becoming more and more of a thing, but like just the depth of how deep, like, for how well received he was by white culture and how deep he had like put in the work, in the trenches was something that made me appreciate it more. And made me feel like what I do is rooted in that same shit. And like that was the same thing Jimmy did. Like he was like, yo, I'm gonna take it wild. Like I'm gonna push it. So, and then if you hear what he was doing, near the time of his demise, like I love where he was figuring out to go because he had brought back the soul, and
yes,
he
sir.
had like an all black band forming. He was just figuring it out, like.
Yeah. Oh, he was about to take it to another. I mean, he already took it to another level, but he was. I don't think the direction that he went to. I don't think musicians have went there yet. As far as like he was. He was on another level.
You can just hear how much just mastery he had over his instrument. You know what I mean? Like from both the. Yeah, like he knew it technically, he knew it spiritually. But aside from Hendrix, the God, Jimmy, is it? Damn, I'm gonna fuck this up. But the lead guitarist from Led Zeppelin,
Jimmy Page,
right? Yeah.
Jimmy Page.
And then Robert Plant is the dude from Pink Floyd.
The lead singer.
Yeah, he's
Robert Plant.
Oh no, he's
the lead. Yeah. He's the lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin was like a beast, and just everything. I mean, they ripped a lot of black music, but they did it in a great way that you know what I mean, like great artist feel type shit, where they took it to their level, and they made it something different.
Yeah,
you
know how that goes.
But you know where they got the sauce from.
Exactly.
But I like what they did with it.
But they'll tell you that they got all that shit from Muddy Waters and Hendrix and Robert Johnson. They'll tell you that. Like they're not gonna keep that a secret. Like you can hear it. They back then they used to call that and I don't know if they call it now, but they used to call that almost like jazz rock or blues rock. I'm sorry, blues rock.
Yeah. No, I love that sound. Like the sound on dun, 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 dun. I love that. Just a lot of what they did too, like sonically and how they were capturing it, how they were mixing and mastering it. You know, it was a dope time where like the technology was catching up and the musicianship was at a point. So yeah, Led Zeppelin's cool.
Okay. I
The
like
Pink
that,
Floyd
man.
dudes, they were pretty like radical with the shit that they were doing.
Nah.
I
See,
think,
this is what I'm
I mean, as
talking
much as
about.
I was like coming at John Mayer earlier, I really do think he's like really, really dope guitarist, and he's progressed drastically over the years, and continues to. I love his Instagram live, like guitar lessons. You know, just learning shit.
He learned from the best,
and he put in his time, and he continues to put in like work. You can tell, and like that was one of the things too that's like super inspiring to see is when you see someone who's reached a certain pinnacle continue to push themselves to like find not even just new rating but also new pockets. It's like, yo, I was great at like this particular style, like even a ball player who's like, yo, I had mad handle and like I could drive to the lane but I didn't have a shot, and so I added a shot to my game, and I added it, and then I figured out how to like, because usually when you add something new to your game, it'll detract from your game at first, right? You're trying to add the shot, and now you're not driving the way you drive no more because everybody tells you you're supposed to shoot. And so you get comfortable with adding it to the rhythm of your game, right? So when you see like anybody in their craft add something new, like if somebody could only cook Chinese and then they study how to do Mexican and they respect like the culture and then they like cook some you know what I mean? And then maybe they add, like I love seeing that in general. So definitely in the music, you always push for that.
Well, look, I want to talk about this one song, man, before we wrap it up, man. Especially, you know, like I said, congratulations on that Midnight Ouroboros project, man. I love it. I'm enjoying it more and more as I listen to it. It caught me off guard, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I was expecting something different. I hear all, I look at, you know, before I listen to an album, I look at the track list, and I'm looking at the track list, and I didn't think it was going to sound like that. But man, I'm a music guy, and I appreciate music. I gave it another listen, and every time I listen to it, man, I enjoy it more and more, man. I feel like I'm going to pick up on something different every time I listen to it. You know, every time I listen to it, a different song become my favorite. Like one time it might be the joint with Ty Ferris, then it might be the joint with, you know, that Moon joint. That was my favorite joint. Then I listened to the joint with ST Knack. It's that one. So it's like, you know, that's the beauty of music, man. I feel like, man, real music, you're gonna feel it. Real music, man, it's gonna resonate, man, and it's gonna be timeless, man. So I definitely appreciate that.
Shout out to the first time. Like, and I think I heard Drake say that once too, where it was like, you know, like if you got it right away, like then I didn't push the artist. So like there is something, like I said, like my favorite music is always that shit that like I hear the first time and I'm like, it's even better when it's like that, because it's like it's not even like you hate it, you're just like my ears are attuned to this, and then at some point like
I didn't like West Side Gun.
Like, it'll hit
bro. I did not like West Side Gun when I first heard him. I'm not even gonna lie. I love him now, man, but I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it.
So different.
I can name some other artists, but I'm just giving you what you're saying is so profound, bro.
Too. And then like the other way that you win that battle as an artist too is through consistency, too, right? Like who's been more consistent than West right now? Like in terms of just continuing to like do that damn thing and push and elevate like the whole culture.
Yeah, shout out to West, man. He's on a tear. He's on a tear right now, man. He's on a tear, man. But I love that project, man. That what I wanted to ask you, man, was that 666 song, man. Where did that concept come from, man? Talk about that song and the video.
The concept was real simple, man. I don't know if people are familiar with the book The Inferno by Dante.
Of course, Dante's Inferno.
Yeah. So in the book, he goes through the levels of hell with Virgil.
Mm-hmm.
And the only Virgil that I know of is Virgil
Abloh.
And so my thought was like, what if that was the Virgil that I had to like travel through hell with? And obviously I'd have to be like fly as hell. And somewhere in the like pursuit of fly as hell, it was just all these brands that have these like mythological names as references, or like kind of dark meaning names as references. Like Rolls Royce names all their cars after like names for ghosts, like Wraith, and Phantom, and Ghost. You know what I'm saying? So like there was something like dope and dark and mystical about all things fly. And like usually there's something intellectual tied. Like huge for me. I had just read Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, and the story of how like he's seen the goddess Athena in the temple, and her name is Athena of Nike, and Nike means to bring victory, right? So she's the goddess that brings victory, and he's seen that she was adjusting her sandal. So the goddess Athena adjusting the sandal so she could bring me Nike, like DHL do, was like she could bring me victory, Nike, and then like, you know, my Nike packages come from DHL when you order them from certain places. So it was like that double play. But he seen the importance of footwear and why like doing shoes was something he should do. So there were all these like little dope meanings and like twists on it. And then I don't know, the title 666 was dope because like no, it doesn't mean what like the misinterpretation is. Like it's one of those game of telephone type things. But again, like it was just fun to challenge, and you know, the playoff of it was like cool. And there's this little nugget throughout the album, right? That if you go back now and you listen, you'll catch. But because Jay-Z is famous for doing like references from other people's like lyrics and shit, like even now this is not a sense of a pussy in the sense of having a pussy, but a pussy have no goddamn sense trying to push me. That's the UGK line, right? And like so many dope Hov lines, like
Bun B verse.
Nice, like nice little jacks or whatever. So I wanted all throughout the album to jack really, really obscure Jay-Z lines that like you probably wouldn't catch. And one of them is 2 green dice, 1 red. And that's off of like Coming to Age Part 2, like the bonus track on Reasonable Doubt. Right. So like I don't know, that just like throwing the dice just like sounded dope, and then they landed on 666, and you know what I mean, like it just kind of flowed from there. Everything just kind of flowed, the metaphors started coming, and like this little cool undertone and like weaving this common thread.
Okay, so look,
and that beat was just like that was like Monk and I cooking, and just something special happened in that session, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's dope.
That shit was, I remember like when that moment, like when like all the sauce just like assembled and like we had played. You know what I mean? Like special joint. Because it was one of them joints that like neither individual.
Nice joint, right? I like that joint. It ain't my favorite song on there.
Yeah.
But it's one of those songs, and I think with the visuals, it stands out. That song really stands out, you know, with the visuals, man. So
shout out to Princess De La Rue for crushing that mask. I needed that mask done in like a quick amount of time in a certain way, and she just like stepped up.
Okay,
like, I got it. From, like out of town in New York City. So that shit's cool.
Let's keep it moving, man. So look, I know you know, I follow you on Instagram, I follow you on Twitter, man. I notice, you know, I hear, you know, you talk a lot about, you know, ownership. And I want to know, man, from your perspective, man, from Duece Ellis, how important you feel it is, man, for artists to have autonomy over their careers, man, and ownership over their, you know, over their product, man, you know.
It's as important as you want it to be 100. Like it, like just because I can only speak on myself. Like there's some people who are perfectly comfortable with giving up all of but, you know, 6 to 12% in exchange for the services that a record label provides. And like if that, like that's like working a job, and like there's nothing wrong with that. I don't ever want to like be the one that condemns the artist. It's but what I would just do that is like you just take the contract, sign it, don't look at it. You got to understand that the house plays by house rules, and you have the rights to like take that paperwork and have somebody who speaks legalese, which is a language all of itself, like decipher that shit and then maybe write you some more favorable terms so that you don't like miss out, you know what I mean, on certain shit for the long term. Like that's well within your rights. And if you don't do that when you have the opportunity to, then like it's on you to fight really hard to see if they'll change their minds after the fact. You know what I mean? But on the flip, in terms of ownership, like that just gives you power, it gives you leverage, it gives you something to like pass down. It gives you the ability to be original. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to make a certain type of shit in order to please, you know, somebody's like boardroom. I don't have
got
to
that whip, got that whip cracking your ass.
Yeah, I don't have to dance on like the table, the executive like oak table, and like sing my raps and all that shit to like a room full of white people who probably don't get it anyways, you know.
You like this independent lane, man. You like this shit, man. This seemed like, you know, it seemed like, you know, artists like yourself, man. It's almost like I used to look at it at one time, man. It's a gift and a curse, man. And when I mean, I say the pros and the cons, man, because when you through the internet, you have oversaturation, but also the gatekeepers don't have that control like they once did. And I feel with these gatekeepers not having that control that they once did, we get artists like yourself.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was simple though for me, man. Like, I had a teacher who told me that I couldn't do it, and I was like, yo, if I can make as much money as you do doing like music, I'll be happy. And so
that's it.
Like, you know, we're that far. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like
you doing something that you love.
Like, I could make like a living like doing this the way I do this, like. And then, like, you know, I branched out and, you know, just, I realized I could create whatever. And, like, if I could, it's business now. If I can make a product or a service and create demand for that product or service, if I get that shit well, connect to customers, then, like, I'll just sell whatever. Bro, I lived in Hawaii and I sold vacuum cleaners door to door, man, like $5,000 vacuum cleaners. And I knock on a stranger's door, and by the end of it, they buy like a $5,000 vacuum. I didn't, you know what I mean? So like, I figured, you know what I mean? I could sell like records to people who like to buy records. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so
I like that.
Was just like the way.
I like that confidence that you have, within yourself, man. I feel like, you know, a lot of artists, man, they put on this image and they present this image to the fans, but it's not who they really are, man. Deep down inside, they don't really feel as confident as the image that they're portraying, and they need a lot of validation from others. With you, it's either accept me for who I am, or get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Either take it or leave it, and I like that about you.
I mean, especially with this and like carving out a niche, there's enough people that are like fuck with my shit that like I'll be good for the rest of forever. Like when I figured that out, first and foremost, and then like I seen the dedication from people who really do like love, you know, this thing that I do and this movement that's growing. They were down and like they spend their hard-earned money, they come out or they support, they show love, and they, you know what I mean, like they tap in. Like as long as like I have them, like. What do I need, like, industry? Why do I need to kiss up to an industry gatekeeper? Like, these people that love me are the greatest people ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, and from that perspective, it's like, fuck a gatekeeper, man. Like, other than, like, if you can give me access to, like, things that maybe I can, like, create greater for my fans,
right.
or, like, you know, open up the door to, like, find more of, like, my tribe, and we be able to bond and grow together, and you can help me with that, then, like, if you're just interested in like the clout game or like what you think is cool, like that'll come and go and that'll pass. But like the stuff that I got with like the people who like buy, and then like not only do they listen to music, but they'll buy a comic book, they wear sneakers that I make. Like that's like.
Well, let's talk about that, man. You just opened the floodgates to the segue, man. Let's talk about these sneakers and these comic books, man. We got you playing the guitar. Now you're making sneakers and bro, But let's talk about this, man. Like, how did you come up with this idea, man, to put out your own sneakers, brother, and to put out your own comic book, man? Like, I don't know any other rappers that's doing that without any major distribution, brother. I don't know any rapper that have their own comic book, first of all, but I don't know any other rapper that has a sneaker that doesn't have a major distribution. So talk about that a little bit, man.
I've probably seen a comic book or two before. I'm never going to take you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that dude. But I know, I get what you're saying. And like,
let me know. I don't know. I'm not privy. I'm not privy to a rapper that has his own comic book. Let's shed a light on him, man. It's the culture. Who else is doing it? Because I don't know.
I've seen like great album packages. I'll say that. But like, my comic book is
about an artist who has a catalog such as yourself, who has a who come on, we're not talking about the guy on the corner.
But the sneakers are just real dope because that's some of the flyest shit that's out. Just the materials are really, really premium. The black joints just dropped. There was only
you didn't answer my question. Exactly. You're the only one doing it, Duece. I appreciate your humility and your modesty. But come on, man. Let's not play that game, man. Like, you're the only one that's, come on, man. That's dope, man. I'm gonna give you your flowers, man. Yo, accept the flowers, brother. Take your flowers, man. Jeez.
No, man. I'm gonna just keep working to grow this brand. I appreciate that, but just from like my mindset, I haven't accomplished yet what I really would like to accomplish in that realm, and there's still new realms for me that I'm into. And I got so much respect for that culture. I did what I will brag about that I am really, really proud about is I just completed FIT sneaker course. You know what I mean? FIT is like Fashion Institute of Technology. It's like the most prestigious institute for fashion in the world.
Come on, talk your shit, man.
In the like enrollment into this.
Oh, man, it's all good. Be proud of what you accomplished, Duece, man. You're doing great things, man. Fuck that teacher, man. That teacher's
but that's like something that I'm really proud of.
If you can make as much as that teacher, man, and you doing what you love, you winning, brother. You winning. You winning.
Appreciate that, man.
You ain't gotta be a millionaire. Is your lights turned on? You got clothes, you got food. You winning. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. I'm just not content.
I'm not saying you're complaining. I'm just saying, like, I want the fans to, when they watch this video, I want them to know that doing things, going about carving out your own lane, like what you're doing, you can win. You can win by doing that, man. It's a winning recipe. You can be yourself and still be successful. It's not impossible.
No, I mean, if anything, like, it would probably suck if like I got trapped and then I had to be like somebody else for like, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. It's like some people, like, acting is a career. Maybe I'm overthinking it in terms of this like thing, but it's just what fit for me. You know what I mean? It was like, was just doing it kind of the way that I do it and flowing with what flows naturally. And once I found like a path for that and I seen what clicked, like, what else? You know what I mean? Like, it's joyous for me. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be trapped like being like super thug or anything, or like criticized for like, oh, now I'm not super thug no more. Like, if I could be Duece Ellis and be chill and spread love and like be known for that, for like, that's just who I am, and like, I just make really dope music and cool shit, and I vibe and I bop with the people, and like, I don't need nothing else, man. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm talking about, man. That's
the lane for somebody else who want to do that. Like, the work I'm doing, like, is beautiful. It's continuing to grow in like this real organic fashion, and it'll speak for itself, like, more and more and more and more. But I appreciate platforms like this where we get to just, you know what I mean, like, shine a little light on it, let the people know. I'm also an album man, so I'm looking at the platform.
Talk about that, man.
Like, the only time that like it's only you that I'm fucking with and like talking to right now too, because like other than that, like, I'm right back into like crafting something, because I'm like, I
What we
love
got, man?
burgers.
What we got coming up, man? What we got? What we? Because you coming that last part. I know you dropped a single out earlier this year, man. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
dope,
just a little
man.
something.
Little
That
Lucy.
I just had that in the tuck, and I just wanted to you know, keep giving the people a little something. But
Yeah.
I got a birthday coming up January 20th, and there's a instrumental album that's dropping.
On the 16th, Capricorn.
Huh?
No, hold
Word?
that. I'm
Hey,
16th.
hey, yes, we celebrating, man. We celebrate, man. Send you a cigar or something, man. Happy,
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? Coming up. Happy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna get at you, man. I ain't know you was a fellow, Cap. Are you Capricorn or you Aquarius, man?
The day it changed, but we January, baby.
Okay, all right. We
You know
good.
what I mean?
So yeah, talk
But
about it.
yeah, talk about it. But we're gonna for the 20th, with Beat Tape Co-op. I'm dropping a beat tape, and I'm gonna be doing some like cool video stuff with that coming out. And then this new album, Acid, you're the first person I'm really, really like even announcing this with. Premiere. And it's different, and the features are dope, and the music is real. You know what I mean? Like it's in a dope place. I think I grew as a musician, and
I was
like
just about to ask about that. Are you playing some guitar on this one too?
yeah, like wow. Like I grew as a guitarist for sure, and I wanted to like show that on a project, but still like I really like my two main things were like I wanted to rap really, really good and play guitar really, really good, and just have beats that like made space for that. And so
I love it, man.
I
love it, man.
I still got
going on, brother, man. I love what you got going on, bro. I'm gonna be. Let me come forward, man. I've only known about you really for like the past 3 months, and it means so much music, man. So like, for every artist that somebody don't know, I can give you like 100 artists that other person don't know. So it's so
it takes a long time for me to like somebody too. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all.
It's a lot of music, man. But with that being said, man, from me hearing your music, man, I've really been enjoying it, man. I'm looking forward to what you got coming out in the future, man. I'm looking forward to what you got coming out in 2021, man. So
it's gonna be a fun year, man. I'm definitely gonna push. I'm gonna push the envelope. I'm gonna give the world a whole lot of cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? All throughout the year. I don't really plan on being out work this year.
No doubt. I love it, man.
But I'm having fun too. Like it's a joyous time, like in the heart. So yeah.
No, so look, if you could work with any artist, man, who would you be? Who would you work with? I'm sorry. You can work with any artist, and any matter of fact, if you can work with one artist from hip hop, rhythm and blues, and rock, give me one artist from those 3 genres.
Right now,
it don't matter what era, any era, but one artist from rhythm and blues, from hip hop, and from rock.
All right, from rock, it'd probably be Robert Johnson. That's rock. That's the origins of rock.
Man, you threw me for a loop right there, because people don't even put respect on Robert Johnson's name. They think that's blues, but he is the father of rock, man. Like, put some respect on Robert Johnson's name, man. So keep going. So we got Robert Johnson, rhythm and blues. What you got? So many, I know.
Yeah, it's if I take Quincy Jones out the equation, because he is all music and just all greatness, and that's probably the first person I want to work with before anybody in any genre of anything, would be the Q. But aside from the Q and rhythm and blues, maybe Babyface or Smokey, because Smokey was writing a lot of those Motown records, all up and down the place.
Okay.
or like I said, Kenneth is like, again, just pioneered, and like there's not a song from like that era damn near that ain't like touched by it. You know what I mean? Like him or somebody trying to jack his swag. So
they don't make it like that no more, man. So now we got what we got. Now we got hip hop. Give me one artist from hip hop. One.
Work with?
Yeah. Like somebody that you can feel that will make a great concept record, or that you can add to a project and it will bring out, a great product, man, to the fans, man. Somebody,
See that's because I was gonna say, like, if I could hang out or like just soak up game from anybody in hip hop, it'd probably be 50 Cent. Though I don't know if like that's who I feel like I would make the best record with. But in hip hop, I would love to just chill with 50.
We talk about music, brother.
But music wise, that I think I'd make a really great record with right now. Man, I really want to. I would love to do something with West, man. I can't front.
Yo, why did I know you was gonna say that, bro? For some reason, I don't know why I knew you was gonna say that, bro. What you think of that whole movement, man? That whole Griselda movement, man? Because you spent some time in Buffalo and everything, man. What you think about those boys, man? I saw you, and talk about that recent engagement, man, with West Side Gun. I saw you on the gram with West Side Gun. What you think about their whole movement, and what's your relationship with West Side Gun?
Well, West loves art, and the Midnight Orbis comic book is a work of art. So, he was one of the first people that had it. It's like West and Maul. My mama had the first one, and then it's like Monk and West and Maul. And I just happened to be around. Make sure my battery don't die. I just happened to be around like for the session and shit, and he was appreciating the art. I was soaking up game from the guys, and it was just one of those magical moments in the lab, man. Grateful to be a part of that history. And truth be told, like it's wild. I have a beat machine, and there's just a moment where I just threw in the headphones and I was making a beat. I don't know. I don't really feel like talking to like girls or really like doing nothing else other than like, I don't know. I just tapped in and made a beat, but then something happened. I keep it a buck, and like it's like, man, West would really like this shit. I should keep it for myself. And so I never played it for him. And you might hear that beat sometime.
That's what's up, man. Well, look, brother, I really enjoyed having you on, man. I really enjoyed this conversation, brother. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure, man. I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot in this conversation, man.
Likewise. I like the way you pushed a lot of this energy, man. Like, appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, can I get a shout out, man? Bridging the Generation podcast. Shout out before we go, man.
Hell yeah. Ready? All right. Yo, this is Duece Ellis. Shout out Bridging the Generations podcast, man. Best interviews on the web right now, man. Tap in. Pick up some gems.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Again, it's been an honor, man. I look forward to having you back on, man. Whenever you got some more fire, man. Let's do this again, man. We January brothers, man.
Yeah, we're gonna celebrate, man. Maybe we'll do something on like the I think Dr. King Day is the 18th, it's the day off. Maybe we'll do like a little celebration or some shit.
Why not?
We pop a bottle together.
Hey, why not?
A little care package. I got you, my G.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, brother, man. I really do, man. This has been a great experience, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother, man. And just keep pushing the boundaries, man. We love it, man. We love it.
Appreciate you, beloved. You stay safe, stay dangerous, man. And we'll stay in tune, you know what I mean, off air and all that good shit.
No doubt, man. You take care. Have a good night, brother. Peace.
All right, peace.